we have a look through the diary to see what court commitments there are, and we allocate them. We don't take more than 3 court commitments on any one day, and we allocate them to the volunteers who are coming. There are usually about 9 of us who are present at the particular office, and one of us will accompany the client who's going to court. We try to meet them at the RCJ office first and discuss the case with them before they go in. So we ask them to come as early as possible. The office opens at 9:30, so we ask them to be there at 9:30. And at 9:30 we go through the case with them. We take them over, if it's a hearing in the RCJ itself, in one of the High Court courts or the Court of Appeal, we take them over there, or possibly, and probably more usually, we take them over to the Thomas More building where the Central London County Court is, and we support them through the hearing there. Of course, we're not allowed to speak for them or represent them in any way, but we can support them, which means that we help them prepare their case, we help them get their papers in order, and we try and get them to marshal their thoughts so that when they present their case themselves in court, they have a good grasp of what they want to tell the court. And I always say to clients, write down on a piece of paper about 3 or 4 bullet points, which are your main arguments that you want to make sure the court understands, and they're the points you want to get over. So if you can write those down, I think nearly all of us volunteers do that, and we get them to write them down, and that's in front of them. Our whole purpose really is to empower our clients. So we're not doing it for them, we're helping them to do it themselves, and we're giving them the confidence to know that they can do it themselves and they can present an effective case to the court. Going to court without representation is a very intimidating thing. Even if you've got a solicitor or a barrister there, it's intimidating. Because sometimes it's your entire life is going to be at stake somehow. It's if it's a family case, it's to do with your marriage, your children. It's terribly important to you in your life. It's one of the most important things that could ever happen to anybody. So the clients are very tense. They're very, very nervous, very afraid. And it's very unfamiliar. The whole court setting is unfamiliar to anybody who's never been in a courtroom. It's quite different from looking at court cases on television or anything like that. And of course, you are intimately involved. It's all about you, and that's even more frightening. The jargon that's used in court, you're frightened about what to call the judge. The judge may be rather stern, may call you unfamiliar words like sir or madam that you're not used to being called. The whole atmosphere is intimidating. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you can get your case over effectively, and that if you're going to be cross-examined by the other side, by your opponents, you know how to stand up to that as well. And of course, we can give them tips about that. And we've got some useful experience that we can employ to make sure that our clients feel that they're confident in facing up to cross-examination and being able to get their points across, even if they're being challenged. More of a challenge for them, especially if they have difficulty expressing themselves over the telephone or over a remote hearing by video link. It's not easy to get your points across when you can't see all the other parties, and that in itself is a challenge. Then, of course, with our own offices being closed, it means they've got to contact us remotely too, and they contact us by telephone. I think it means that from our point of view, we have, I think, rather shorter meetings with our clients than we do when we meet them face to face in the offices, and they're more directed. I think when we see our clients in the offices, they're able to tell us the whole background of a story. They tell us about their family background, their family life, all the challenges they've faced, and the context in which this particular case arises. And I think on the phone it's rather more curtailed, it's rather shorter. And they tend to just ask us specific questions that really trouble them. And usually we're able to answer those specific questions. And we can sometimes explore with clients the wider context, but often they don't want that. And they just want to get a specific answer to a specific question. So that's the main difference I think we're finding. And also, of course, we're able to help our clients much more when we're in the office with getting all their papers together and helping them write out indexes for the papers and things like that, which is much more difficult online. But we're still able to help them fill in forms, and we can access the forms at the same time as the client and see the client going through the form with us and help them fill it in and explain the jargon and what's meant in the forms. And I did a lot of that yesterday when I helped several clients with different forms, some of which were quite unfamiliar to me. And I help them with those forms, but we can do it on the phone. And I think the remote hearings with them, the remote interaction with the clients can sometimes work very effectively. So I find the helpline is a challenge in itself, but it's a very rewarding one. Up to very recently, it was, I should have thought, 80% of the cases that I was seeing on the helpline were all family related. I think we were all seeing those. But taking yesterday as an example, I think I helped with 3 family cases, and all the rest, I had 11 calls, I think, yesterday, and all the rest were different civil cases, different sorts of civil cases. And they vary. They can be anything. I mean, as they are in the RCJ offices, they can be anything from defamation to medical negligence to personal injury to money claims to appeals, anything. And I had the whole gamut yesterday. So I'm seeing a great variety of different cases. But as I say, a great deal of what we see are urgent family cases where either the children are in local authority care or one partner won't allow the other partner to see the children or give adequate access to the children. And that's what we're seeing a great deal of. And nearly all these cases are fairly urgent. We're not there to do things for the clients, really. We're there to help the clients do things for themselves. And we're there to really give the clients the tools that they can use, either to present their cases in court effectively or to deal with all the court paraphernalia, like the forms, which are they're very complex, some of these forms. And there's an awful lot of different forms. And it is a total minefield there, and we can help them through that. So we're really there to help them help themselves. And that's what our function is.